Hello and welcome, everybody, to episode 61 of Spreading the Nerd. I'm your host, Clint Coombs. As always, joining me is Mr. Rick Davis. We got an episode for you this week talking about the Nintendo Direct, game news, and other top releases of the week. And, well, let's see what happens throughout the show and whatever else happens. You know, we sometimes go off the walls here. So, how are you doing, sir?
I am still cold. How are you?
Ugh.
Not as cold. Not as cold to be
Don't
clear.
even get me started on the cold because I am so sick of it. It has been single digits for like
it
3
has
weeks.
it has warmed up here a little bit more than
A
that.
little bit.
Like we actually had today was like almost 30. I think but
Ugh.
yesterday morning it was like 0 when I woke up. But it has warmed up a little bit. I'll say that.
Yeah, it's been awful here. We had like a good tease. I think it was like 2 or 3 days ago where we had like it got up to 34 and I felt like it was a heat wave. And then I woke up this morning. It was 1 degree.
Ready to throw on your swimsuit.
Yep, I woke up in 1 degree this morning. I'm like, God damn it, guy!
Yeah, this sucks.
I'm used to
really
a few cold days. That's fine, but it's literally been a cold snap for like almost 3 weeks now. I'm like, enough's enough.
Where are you about, Baldwin? I can't remember if you told us that before.
Ellery and Baldwin already in chat. Thank you, everybody. Yeah, so other than being cold, it's been a busy week. I think I sent you a text on Tuesday. I was like, is it Friday yet? Because it
you're in North Carolina also.
Yep.
That makes you in Castlebutt. From Castlebutt is he said where he was from, so it's like it's slightly east of Raleigh, I think, or no, slightly northwest of Raleigh. So
I think that's what he said.
Yeah. Whatever city it was called, he said it, and I looked up on the map to see where it was. I was like, oh, I was actually pretty darn close to you when I was down there. Unfortunately, since I don't know North Carolina real well, that is my like basis. Is
that's
like
how close, basis, yeah.
Right? How close to Raleigh are you?
But yeah, other than being cold, haven't been up to too much this week. Just trying to get through work and just looking forward to this weekend because I don't think we have much planned this weekend. So it's like a chill weekend, which it hasn't. I shouldn't say chill. It hasn't. We haven't had like a weekend where we're not doing something in quite a while. So we got the Super Bowl on Sunday, but that's still lazy. So I'm looking forward to the weekend.
I was just talking about to Nicole while we were out to dinner. I don't even know if I want to watch the Super Bowl, but that will not change me from brace yourself, hoping the Patriots win.
Oh,
I knew you wouldn't like that. Now, to be clear, there are very dirty ulterior motives to this. As a lifelong Pittsburgher, I hate nothing more on earth than Steelers fans.
I was gonna say you're not a fan of this, right?
I don't like the Steelers, and I hate their fans way more. And I want nothing more than for them to even be able to consider the Steelers to be tied for the most number of Super Bowls, as if it matters at all. Because reality is, Green Bay is by far the most like prestigious team by a mile. There wasn't a Super Bowl back then. But if the Patriots win, that will give them 8, and no longer can Steelers fans even cling to being tied for first. True. And their tears will probably flood the Three Rivers here.
They'll ride in the streets over it.
The Ohio, the Allegheny, and the Monongahela. So if you ever hear Allegheny, which you have heard in some of the things you like, that's what it's a reference to.
Okay. All right. Good to know.
There's a little Pittsburgh lore for you.
Yeah, I'm not really too interested in the teams. Honestly, usually the Super Bowl, I watch it just for the commercials. They've
been awful for 20 years.
They have been that awful too, but it's more of an excuse to eat a lot of chicken wings and whatever else I make.
That's valid.
That's about it, really. And maybe I'll switch over to the Puppy Bowl here and there. You know what was really good?
I never actually watched that. As much as I like dogs, I actually have never watched it.
It's all right. But you know what was really good? And as we go off on our little tangent here, Silknet, how you doing, sir? When was it? I want to say it was a few years ago. It might have been further. But Nickelodeon did the Super Bowl, and SpongeBob and Patrick were the narrators on it, or the announcement team on it. And it was actually pretty goddamn hilarious.
They still do. I mean, I don't know if they'll be able to do it live necessarily. It depends how the contract works, but they still do something similar. And
It
actually,
was hilarious.
I think it's Disney started to do something similar for hockey games, like for
Oh,
certain.
really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like my friend Brian, who I went to college with, and we have the only thing we ever have in common is liking sports. But he showed me, he has a young, I mean, she's a little older now, but he has a daughter who at the time was fairly young, and he was like, "Hey, turn on channel whatever." I don't think it was Disney. I think it was actually like ABC. But he's like Kaylee, that's his daughter's name. He's like, she's watching this, and it was whatever game, like the Capitals versus somebody, but it was using the what the hell is it called? Like Big City Green characters, something like that. I'm like, what the hell is this? Like, I didn't know it was an actual live game. I was like, why are they? And I'm familiar with the show. I don't like it, but I'm familiar with it. And I was like, why are they playing hockey? He's like, that's an actual game. I said, what do you mean it's an actual? And then he explained. I was like, huh? Nah. Yes, so it's kind of similar to what you're describing. I actually think it's a really good idea by both, to be honest with you, because
Oh, yeah.
it's a good idea for obviously whatever broadcast network it is to get, more kids' eyes on everything. And it's a really smart idea by the leagues, because now kids or girls in the case of like Kaylee, right, who aren't interested in the sport, like you get them on
kind of into it a little bit.
Yeah, like that's really clever marketing, I think.
Yeah, it was great when Nickelodeon was doing it, because whenever they were calling a foul or a penalty or whatever, they would have like SpongeBob. They were trying to like, say what it was or whatever. But the funniest part was anytime someone had a fumble, it was just Patrick, and he would scream, "Firmly grasp it." And I was just laughing my ass off every time. And I'm like, I'm going to start watching this on Nickelodeon now.
I never really got into SpongeBob, but I'm like, I almost kind of wish that I did, because it really is like, it like supersedes like normal cartoons. And I'm like, but when it first came on, I was like, why is this popular? This looks awful. But over time, I've like grown to appreciate what it is. I'm like, this is almost as demented as like Ren and Stimpy. And obviously, I respect the hell out of Ren and Stimpy. I love Ren and Stimpy.
There was a couple for like the first like 3 or 4 seasons, you could definitely see a hint of like Ren and Stimpy in there, and I was like, oh, okay. Not so much now, but I've been a fan since long time.
Yeah, I've grown to appreciate it over time. I just did not like it much for a long time.
Understandable. But bring Ren and Stimpy back. That's what I say too.
Well, I don't know if you can, because
not like it used to be.
Well, for sure, but also the insanity of, what was his name? John Krasinski or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they're not going to let him near children anymore. So.
This is very true. Yeah, or
so
anything to do with it. Yeah,
right.
Very true. Before we start going down another rabbit hole, what have you been playing anything this week?
Nothing really different from last time. Still got the PC Master Racing going on, but have been messing a bit with the Neo 3 demo. Neo 3 obviously came out today. I have not messed with the final game because I just got home from eating. But I do have my copy. Steelbook sitting back on the shelf back there. I'll be installing it and playing it later. But that said, the demo is more or less the first couple hours. It's actually a surprisingly meaty demo.
It's a solid demo.
Like, I was surprised how much it gives you. Like, I guess it gives
a lot there.
It gives you a small chunk of the first open zone or whatever you want to call it. But it's enough that it's like, man, there was like 4 times I thought the demo was going to be over. And I was like, it's still going.
Yep. Yeah. And anything else before I go in?
Nothing that I can think of that I have to say. Just again, living, doing the Stalker and Cyberpunk thing mostly.
Okay. Yeah, I wanted to get back into Cyberpunk a little bit more this week, but I never got to it. I didn't get to much. Like, it's just busy this week.
I'll tell you what I haven't played this week. Battlefield.
I haven't played Battlefield either. I almost hopped on last night.
What a coincidence, huh? What a coincidence.
Yeah, I almost hopped on last night, and it was like a little too late, and I was like, I'm tired. I went to bed early like twice this week. I think Tuesday I went to bed at like 8, which is ridiculous for me. And then last night I think I went to bed at like 9, which is also early, but
I've been going pretty early a lot myself because I've been trying to get up. And actually, I'm dumb. I did forget something else that I've been playing. Although I may have mentioned it last week too. I've been kind of slowly chipping away at the next playthrough of Rebirth, which is why I've been talking to you about.
I thought I saw you online playing that.
Yeah, I finished up what's it called, Grassy Plains or whatever, the first area.
Yep.
And I'm
A good game.
slowly chugging through Junon, and even knowing what it looks like, man, I just getting to like a cliff and looking over and seeing Junon's cannon and the high wind up there.
It's so
like,
good.
If you liked this back in the day, which I didn't at first, but I did shortly after, I'm like, this is like exactly what you imagined. It's amazing.
Oh yeah.
And I apologize. Apparently the dog wants to bark again.
Right. So. Yeah, the first time you come out to the grassy plains there, it was just like, it was so gorgeous, but also that nostalgia overload of just like, oh my God, this is so amazing.
In that particular case, it's specifically because it plays On Our Way, that the name of the track.
Mm-hmm.
Because reality is nothing else about it looks anything like it did when you first.
No, of course not. Maybe you thought that in your head, but
like Junon, you saw Junon, like. Yeah. So it's like, oh, this is really cool to see. Kind of like,
yep.
I mean, technically we saw Junon anyway in like Advent Children and stuff.
Yeah, but not to this.
But we see the environment around it, and like, it's so cool. I love that game. I told it to you, or I said it to you rather, and I'll say it again. I respect anybody to have their own opinion. I do not in any way, shape, or form relate to people that hate the remake project because I think they're crazy. I think it's absolutely amazing.
Same. Baldwin in chat. Whenever I get around to playing it, I won't have the nostalgia since I've not played the original Final Fantasy. I mean,
I think you get a lot more out of it if you played Final Fantasy, the original one, though. I'll say that. Like,
I think you'll get you would probably get a lot of extra out of it, but at the same time, I don't think you need the nostalgia goggles to enjoy.
Now that's an interesting statement because I mean, Dirge of Cerberus is kind of a sequel game, but
right.
I can't imagine you have any idea what was happening in Advent Children having not played.
Maybe watched a playthrough or something.
Maybe
but God, Advent Children was so good too.
I love Advent Children.
Yep. So yeah, whenever it comes around, I'm sure you'll still like it. There'll be some things that you're not like, oh my God, this is so cool to see, like the golden saucer with updated, insane graphics and stuff. But there's still plenty to love in that game.
Best JRPG battle system of all time.
So good.
The fact that there are people that still complain it's not turn-based. I'm like, I like turn-based games, and I can understand how you prefer turn-based over this. It's a perfect combination.
I think it fits fine. Yeah, for what it is. And as much as I love turn-based, I'm glad they did something different with it.
Yeah.
Or else if they didn't do something different, I don't think it would have been able to be the game it is. And I like the game it is. So.
Skies of Arcadia is very good, Todd. We've actually brought it up on this show a couple times.
God, if I could, I'm so hoping that comes to like the Switch 2 under that GameCube.
I have no idea who has the rights to that because
I don't know.
Sega published it originally, I think, didn't they?
Yeah,
it was a Dreamcast game.
It was originally Dreamcast, and then it went to GameCube.
God, never left there.
I love that game so much. It's so good, so good. Yeah, I didn't play too much this week. What was I playing? Arc Raiders, of course. I did get Dragon Quest. I guess we can kind of go into that because we'll do that and then go to news. So I did get Dragon Quest. I got that early. I'm about 6 or 7 hours into it. Quite enjoying it. I love the graphics, the diorama style. I'm just an absolute fan of that so much. I did have to turn up the difficulty because it was pretty easy. But then I turned up the difficulty and it's fine. I don't think it's over difficult, but I think it's fine. Now, granted, like I said, I'm only 6-7 hours into it, so maybe I'm gonna start getting like overpowered. I don't know. But I personally like that they cut the fluff on that game because I don't need another 90-hour Dragon Quest game. Cut is
7 was infamous for being one of the most bloated.
It was so much.
Not even like Ubisoft style bloat, where it at least keeps you occupied. It was bloated ridiculous. In terms of just nothing happened forever.
Yeah, just mind numbing and just So I'm glad they cut it. I'm perfectly fine with it. There's one of it's a Kiefer. What the hell's his name? One of the main characters is creepy as
Oh,
hell looking, though.
the prince or whatever.
The prince, yeah.
Yeah, his like overly large head looks ridiculous.
I don't know what they did with his design, but I was like, this is not it, guys. Because every time he comes up, he looks like Matt Damon, but he also just looks like a creeper as well. So, but I definitely liking it. Got my boat, so I'm now going around. It's not my Skies of Arcadia,
So
shooting things down.
Not to interject here, but I gotta ask.
Yep.
So what the heck is this blue badge next to your name? What, like, why are you blue and why does it have a shield? Are you
a shield? Where's he at?
Well, you can't see it in StreamYard, but if you look in YouTube, you'll see it. Here. Actually,
Hold on. Yeah, I'm looking.
Here, I'll share my screen.
I think he's mod, I believe.
Oh, I didn't realize we had the ability to make mods. I thought you said.
Yeah. So we for our 10 viewers, if anybody gets out of line, he can
start swinging the band hammer around. But to answer that, yes, it you can't ban me. Actually, I guess you could ban me because I'm not a mod, so I guess you could.
All of a sudden, Rick's just not here.
Yeah, well, you and I talked, and I will say I did decide to get it. I haven't got it yet because for some reason Amazon's not shipping any of my stuff on time. But I decided to get it, but more for collection purposes. I kind of still have lost a lot of interest in it because Silken did chime in and say right there. Now, don't get me wrong. This is no shade to him. If there's no way on earth I would take Greg Miller's opinion on a JRPG because it's not a genre he at least used to like. But I will say that is for me a big down thing because Dragon Quest, like as I've said, I can't speak to this one because I never played through 7, but Dragon Quest typically does not have all that great of a story, right? Like they're usually relatively. I mean, not a
it's your bare bones.
Yeah, it's not. It's not Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy.
No, it's your bare bones.
So it's basically built around being a very traditional, old style JRPG where it's all about grinding because if you don't grind, and some people don't like that, and that's fair, right? But when I play Dragon Quest, I want to play Dragon Quest. So the fact that they I'm totally okay with what you're talking about with the streamlining because it was a mess originally. It really was.
Oh yeah.
It was why it was such a flawed entry. Even by those that liked it, because I guess it was originally something like 5 hours before you even got to your first fight in the game. It was absurd.
It was ridiculous. It was absurd. Yeah.
But the fact that there's no way to like even make this remotely resembling, not necessarily 7, but a Dragon Quest game in difficulty, even when you turn it up, it's still nowhere near what it's like. That's kind of a turnoff to me. It really is. Like, and I'm not even the biggest Dragon Quest fan, to be clear, but it's like if I play Dragon Quest, I want it to be Dragon Quest. And it's not me trying to be like a purist because I'm not a purist. I don't really like Dragon Quest that much. But if I play it, I want to play that. You know what I mean? It's kind of disappointing that they didn't give you an option to be like, hey, turn off those like recharge shrines or whatever. But it is what it
is. So they do have those shrines at the save point. And like I said, there is a difficulty where you can up it, and I think I am at max, and like I said, it's comfortable now, but I also like to, when I play RPGs, is like get very leveled and then go ahead. So we'll see. But for the people who don't like difficulty, this is definitely your game too, because they have so many options to make it easy.
And also, to be clear, I have no problem with that. I have no problem.
That's fine. If that's how you want to play it,
easy. My issue is you can't make it as difficult as you want it to be. That's the problem. It's not. I don't have an issue with being able to turn it down. I have an issue with not being able to turn it up.
Yeah. If it was the normal setting that I started out on, I would be very like, ugh. I don't like, like you said, I'm not being purist or whatever, or like I'm better than anybody or whatever. I like my RPGs to be at least a little bit difficult, or I get bored.
I like them, especially when they're turn-based. I like them to make me have to think.
Or else I get bored. Right. And if it was still on normal, I would be bored. And that, like you said, that's not Dragon Quest. Dragon Quest is usually like a harder type game.
Yeah, so. I guess of all of them that I have played, I've played probably the most of 8 because I have 1, 2, and 3 remake, but I actually haven't even played them. They're still sealed back there. But 8 I did put. I mean, I won't say I got anywhere near the end because that game is also quite long. Dragon Quest is infamous for being forever long, right? But even that one, which did start to make it a bit more accessible, right? it still was a matter of if you wanted to progress, you had to grind a bit, because if you
Mhm.
finish the dungeon or whatever and then do what you got to do, if you just immediately start pushing into the next dungeon for progression purposes, you're gonna get smoked. You have to.
Oh yeah.
And I get it. People don't like that, and I understand that. But that is what made Dragon Quest so popular, especially
Yeah,
amongst
that needs to be there. It's perfectly
Japan.
fine to
Right,
make it
right.
easier, but that does need to be there. Yeah.
Well, so
Uh,
I did not play 11 at all, so I can't comment on that whatsoever. But I was talking about 8.
yeah. Yeah, Dragon Quest 3 and those remakes that they're doing 1, 2, and 3. Those are still that difficulty for
Yes,
sure.
yes, they're
For
very
sure.
hard. I know, but again, they do give you the option to turn it down if you
Yep.
don't want to do that.
Yep.
Which to be clear,
Oh yeah, it's great.
I have no issue with that being there. That's totally fine.
Yeah.
I have an issue with not being able to turn it up to where you kind of
Yeah.
would traditionally associate it with Dragon Quest with.
Yep. Yeah, and that's honestly been a problem with me for some of the latest RPGs over the past like 5 years or so, is that some of them come out and they're just way too easy, and I like them, but I stop playing them because there's no difficulty for me there, and if I have to, like you said, I have to think while like doing the turn base in order for me to enjoy it more.
Well, and actually, even though we spend every episode bitching about it, this is an area I'll actually give Expedition 33 credit. Is it did make it? I mean, obviously, when you get good enough, you could take a level 1 character through the whole game, but that was by design. That's how it's meant to be. However, it is punishing. Like, until you get good at timing, it is a hard game.
Oh yeah,
I very much respect it.
Yeah, I was getting hammered when I was like, oh, I need this is not your typical go around. What else did I play? I'm trying to think. I really didn't play much. Like I said, Ark. I was kind of watching TV a lot. Like I was cold all week, so when I got home, I just like get under a blanket on the couch and like watch TV, and that was pretty much it.
I get it.
That was pretty much it. Let's see. Let's do a little bit of news, I guess. I mean, Neo came out, and as you said, I haven't really played it either. I got it. I played it for like a half an hour earlier. I was running around this afternoon, so I just didn't have time. So
you did buy it after all?
Yeah. Well, I got the digital copy, and then I'll probably get like the steel book when it's like on eBay or something for cheap. But yeah, I wanted to get it. I didn't know there was.
If you were gonna buy it, why didn't you just? Oh, you had previously bought. Like, did you pre-order? Okay. Yeah. I didn't know that actually.
Yep. So I was like, I
will say this will just rub a little bit of salt in your wound. I did open it to look at it real quick. It is a proper steelbook with the actual spine. You know, sometimes how they're starting to use the cheapy kind. This is a proper one with the separate piece for the spine.
Okay, cool. Silgana says, Neo, I'll play the demo before buying. Yeah, definitely, because there's definitely enough there in the demo to see if you would like it or not. For sure.
Yeah, you can easily get 10 hours out of that demo if you really want to.
Yeah, you'll know if you like it or not by the end of that.
I don't remember if you said or not, Silgana. Did you like the first two, or I know Freight has them but had not played them. I don't remember if you said if you liked them or not.
God, I loved the first two so much.
Yeah, so did I. Especially the second one.
Good. Yep, so good. Fantastic. I spent a little. I think, and like I said, I played it when I booted it up earlier. Like I said, I probably played a half hour, 45 minutes, and probably 25 of that was making my character. So,
what's her name? Koei Tecmo always do have pretty good character creators for things like this. Long that they always have real character creators.
Yep, Wolong's good stuff too. Let's see. So some news. What do we got to say? Ashes of Creation was in the news again this week. Not only because they were, basically shutting down the game, but the devs were reportedly denied final paychecks. And
I mean, I'm going to be honest. This is going to sound heartless. I don't care about that. What I care about is the fact that they ripped off a lot of people.
Oh, they ripped off so many people.
Not necessarily their fault, but I care way less about people not getting a week or two. Not that I don't care about that, because I do care about that, to be clear. But people spent a lot of money to get this game, and they didn't get what they paid for. So I take way more issue with that.
Yep. And then Steam didn't give refunds, and the game was on Kickstarter before, so they had all that money from Kickstarter and then their website, but they weren't. They were on Steam for what, like 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
I don't even think it was that much.
For before.
It was still in early access.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So they definitely, and what's funny is when it came onto Steam, I remember going to the Reddit because I was kind of interested in the game, and there was a post that I remember sticking out that said, "This coming to Steam, it basically seals the deal that I know that they're going to cancel this, and it's just a money grab, blah blah blah." And I remember a bunch of people replying, "No, no, blah blah blah," and then this happens. I was like, "Oh shit!"
Well, and everything that the CEO or whatever he was said was a lie. Like his big thing was, we're not answering to any board. You know, we're dealing directly with the things. And then what was his statement as to why the project was being shut down? This was the board's decision, not mine. Yeah. So which is it? And so to be clear, I didn't know a whole lot about this. When you had posted the news, I was like, what the hell is Ashes of Creation? But I looked a little further into it. And what I saw, I was like, no, I do feel bad for anybody that invested money, but this should be a very big cautionary tale.
Yeah.
Number one, kickstarting games in general, unless it is an indie game, which this, I don't care if it had a publisher or not, this was not an indie game.
Right. Not the scope of it. Yeah.
It was an MMORPG.
Yeah.
But like Hollow Knight off the top of my head is about the only indie game I can think of that was worth. And actually, I did kickstart one, but it was, about it, it was Chernobyl 2. I'm like, well, they're going to finish this. There's zero chance this isn't coming out, right? But kickstarting a game I find to be pretty questionable at the best of times. But then also, to get the early accesses, you had to pay like $500 or something crazy like that.
Yeah, it was insane.
Like, why would you pay that for early access?
I don't know.
I don't understand why anybody did that. Still didn't deserve to have your money taken from you, but nevertheless. And then I saw that apparently the statement that they made that I guess would have held them to legal binding was that everybody would be refunded if the game was never released to be played, which is why they forced out a very unready early access version. And I was like, that is so,
that's scum.
So sleazy.
That's
like
scum.
Everybody needs to remember, every person that worked on this game, and keep those names in your mind. Don't ever support these kind of people again.
Yeah. Unreal. It sucks. It sucks all around. And sticking to Neo though, I guess I hadn't paid attention, but I didn't know like the first 1 and 2 were not released on Steam at the same time or as same.
They were PlayStation exclusives for a long while.
But I guess numbers are doing fantastic over there. Where is it? I had it up here. When it just hours after it came out, it was the highest in Neo game in the franchise history with over 54,400 concurrent players at the time of writing. By comparison, according to SteamDB, the first game only reached a peak around 10,649, and the sequel reached 41,000. So that was like early this morning too. So
I want to say they came out a year, if not more than that, after the PlayStation version. So I'm not surprised the numbers were so low, because people were like, well, if I guess I want to play this, I'm going to play it there. But then obviously they did eventually work their way over to Steam. But yeah, I love Neo, so I'm hyped that this is out. And I think I talked about it on here. I know I was mentioning in the Discord. When I played the original demo, not this most recent one from last week, I had said my biggest criticism that I had, and it was kind of gnawing at me, was so this game's new thing, aside from the open world, is the whole ninja samurai mode switch, right? And I was like, I like that. I think that's a cool thing. But the fact that you could have only one weapon set on samurai and one weapon set on ninja, I was like, that is not an acceptable substitute to having two weapon sets, right? I did discover you have to progress a bit in the game, but you actually can get two weapon sets for both. I'm like, okay, now that makes this a complete upgrade, in my opinion, that it has these. Because I was like, it's fine that you have that, but if I wanted to have two samurai style weapons, why can't I do that? Well, the fact that you still can, I'm like, okay, good, because that is how I like to make my build. Yeah, you know.
Yep. Yeah. So that's definitely good. I'm happy with that for sure. What else was there? Baldur's Gate TV series is coming to HBO.
Well, HBO doesn't have the greatest track record as of right now for
it's from the co-creator Craig Mazin, which
we know what that. Well, to be fair, He did do a good job with season 1. I think it's a little overrated, but did do a good job. Did a very poor job with 2. But he is apparently a huge Baldur's Gate 3 fan. Like
I was
he's
reading
put in like 1,000 hours.
1,000 hours, yeah. So at least there's that.
Yeah.
And I guess another good thing is that Larian really isn't involved. They're
Right.
like whatever, and so I guess what could be a good thing is that there is no story that he has to stick to, worrying about another game coming out or whatever. So he can kind of make his own story.
It is a sequel to Baldur's Gate 3. It does take place. Okay.
Right. So at least this way, like he has
that. But,
yeah. So he can just work off of that, and maybe it'll be, I don't know, maybe be better.
But what's interesting about that then is theoretically, you would have to not have any of those characters, so it's not really Baldur's Gate 3 because anybody can die.
It is, yeah. It's going to have to be like it's going to be interesting.
Like you can't exactly have a canonical ending since there's 11,000 endings or something like that.
Yeah, right. Are they just gonna be like, oh, this was the most common ending, so this is what we're gonna go with. This is the most common characters. Blah, blah, blah.
But that's not a good way to go about that. That's no.
But of course, this is way early, so I don't think we're gonna be getting anything, any news on that anytime soon. We also have a House of the Dead film adaptation coming. Not a Yui Bowl.
Oh, I was about to say we got a Yui Bowl to come back.
Oh my god! I remember watching that. Oh god, he was awful. What he did? What House of the Dead, Far Cry. He did a couple others too.
Blood Rain.
Oh god, the Blood Rain.
He did.
That's right.
Yeah, there was another big one that he did too. I can't remember what it was. But yeah, I mean, he was one of the worst directors in cinema history.
It was awful. And Postal. He did Postal, and that was god awful.
There was something else too. You're right, but that wasn't what I was.
There was definitely something else. But man, he was just. Oh god, we should have a watch party and just hate ourselves.
No, I'm good. So I'm good. I've already tortured myself once this year.
House of the Dead was rough. That was rough. Yeah, not too much early information on that. Isabel Merced. I don't know. She's from Last of Us and Superman, but she'll be the showrunner, I guess, on that one.
She's also from Madam Web.
Good.
That was the movie that she made the statement. I'm not going to get into it, but she made a statement about why people liked it. Oh, Alone in the Dark and In the Name of the King, which was
he did In the Name of the King.
Yeah, that was Dungeon Seas. Yep.
Oh my god.
Yep, those are the ones I was thinking of.
God, he was so goddamn bad.
And the Name of the King has quite the cast, though.
Wonder what he's doing now. Who knows? I think that was kind of it.
What's that?
I think that was kind of it for news. Do you remember anything?
I mean, there was something that happened yesterday.
Well, no, that's why I'm going to go into before.
I don't know. That's about all I can think of.
That's the only thing I could think of.
I can think of one other thing.
No.
And there's going to be some pushback on this by people without functioning brain cells because, facts don't matter. But Sony have confirmed that Ghost of Yotei is selling very, very well. And, I
don't believe it. I don't believe it.
Well, right, because my opinion tells me that they didn't, so they didn't, right? Adjusted for not adjusted actually, but in terms of the time, I guess it would be of when it released to now, it is actually outselling Tsushima, and Tsushima had a significantly higher, not significantly, but it had a higher console install base. Yeah. Plus, Tsushima had 2 releases that they're taking into account as well, whereas Yotei obviously only has 1. Yeah. Actually, Tsushima might have had 3. I don't know if they're counting the PC version of that as well, or if they're maybe just counting PS4 and PS5.
I mean, they're probably counting PC, I would imagine.
Well, but I'm just saying, I don't know. I don't know. Just for the comparison, not in terms of Yotei, or Tsushima sales. Gotcha. They might be saying like the PlayStation version of Yotei is outselling Tsushima on PlayStation, or they might be saying it's outselling it entirely. And if I remember correctly, I think Tsushima did pretty well on PC. So if they're including that actually,
I think it did decent from what I remember. Yeah,
God of War and Tsushima did very, very well on PC.
Yep. Good game. I need to get back to Yotei.
Yotei's good. The beginning hours are a little rough, but it actually does get very, very good.
Yep, I do need to get into that. And then yeah, probably the biggest news was we had the Nintendo Direct this week. I went into it not really expecting anything. I got a couple things out of it, but kind of go over.
It was way better than the last one they did. I'll say that. But
yeah,
the last one or the one before, the one was just dreadful. It was better than that by far.
Yeah, and just I don't know why it just popped in my head. It wasn't the Switch 2 reveal. Maybe it was Mario Kart or something. Remember the audio was like way off and everything during
that was the Switch 2 reveal. Yeah,
it was the
yeah, like it was lagging real bad.
Yeah, it was awful. So basically they started out with the game Orbitals, which I absolutely love the style of this game, that like 1980s anime Voltron looking style. I love it. It's one of those like, oh, is it not is it Splitgate?
No,
yeah,
or Split Fiction.
Yeah. So one of those 2-player games. It's not really for me, but I do love the style. So I don't know.
It's very cool looking for sure.
It definitely looks cool. But yeah, I don't know. I think it'll do well, but yeah, I don't know. Then we had Paranormacite, The Mermaid's Curse. I know it's kind of got like a cult following from the last one. I don't know. It didn't do anything for me. Not at all. And then we had Captain Tsubasa? The World Fighters, which was like a soccer game.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah. And then Tokyo Scramble. I got a little excited at first because I was like, oh, set in Tokyo, got some dinosaurs. All right, kind of maybe a Dino Crisis wannabe. And then it just turned into...
I'll never forget the part where they showed the chick running and they showed the dinosaur and it did it like this. And you see her fall over dead. I was like, I can't believe they actually showed that.
Wait a minute. Yeah, a horror game that sees you navigating your way around Xenos, using creative ways to take them out before they get you first. But it was also it's kind of like 4-player at the same time too, where like other people can help you, and they add the cameras into it too. But it just I lost interest in me almost instantly. Sadly, because I thought there was something there. Valheim is coming to Switch, which, okay, it's a good game, but man, I know the Switch is not as powerful, but God, the graphics looked rough on that one.
The whole time I was typing, I wonder if this is a Switch 1 release, and then it was Switch 2, and I'm like, Switch 2 can do better than that.
Oh, it definitely can. So hopefully, I don't know. Hopefully, there's no exact release date, so maybe it was kind of like an early build. Maybe, I don't know. But yeah, a good game. It needs to look better for sure. And then kind of what we all knew what was coming. Hollow Knight gets the Nintendo Switch the Nintendo Switch 2 edition.
So as soon as he starts talking about Hollow Knight, he can't.
I just lose it.
Yeah, he turns into a mess.
So if they just said like higher frame rates, or not even higher frame rates, but like
they did
higher res. Oh, did they say higher frame rates?
I think it probably runs at 120 if you have a 120
okay.
TV, or on handheld it probably runs at 90. I will say it looked like it ran a little more smoothly. So I actually did play Hollow Knight on Switch. I think I said that before. The original one.
Yep.
Actually both.
Yeah. That's what little I played was on the Switch.
Because that's where it released originally on console. Yeah. After PC, Switch came like a year before anywhere else. And there were a couple moments, not often, but there was a couple times when it did slow down. One of the I can't remember what it's called. One of the bosses, though, it definitely would stutter a little bit. I mean, it was very much the exception and not the rule.
Gotcha.
But when I loaded it to try it real quick, I will say it did feel a little smoother. So I think maybe it runs at a more locked 60, which kind of makes you wonder how it didn't before. But nevertheless, it does. Yeah. and then they also said, now this is probably something you would have to see side by side to see it, but they did say it has additional graphical effects that were not in it originally.
Oh, okay. Like particle effects or something?
I would think so, yes.
Yeah. Maybe some shadowing, maybe.
maybe. And then evidently this patch is rumored to be looking to making its way to at least PlayStation as well. I guess a new trophy list popped there for the PS5 native version. It's the same trophy list, but it is an actual PS5 version now.
Okay.
So I guess whatever these updates, whatever these visual upgrades are, they should theoretically appear there as well.
Gotcha.
What up, Freight?
Yeah, welcome in, Freight. And then
Dishes. It wasn't Dishes. You were playing Neo, you dirty bastard.
Dishes is code. eFootball kickoff. I must have missed that one because I completely don't know.
It's just the new Pro Evolution, but that's the online.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
And then from up till this point, it was like batting zero for me. It was like, oh boy. And then Adventures of
in your case, it was negatives because of Hollow Knight.
You I didn't even know one of those games they were talking about. I was like,
it was just a black screen for you.
So then the Adventures of Elliot, the Millennium Tales, had a new trailer coming out, as well as a release date of June 18th. Super excited for this one. I think it I never played the demo. I just went by the trailer.
I knew can't anymore. I believe the demo.
I think it was a timed one. I think it was.
I think when you have it, you can play it unlimited, but I think it was only available for limited time. No, I if you remember when they announced this, was it Summer Game Fest? I can't remember. I really was not interested in it at all, but I was like, I'll try it, and I was like, I actually like this a lot because I don't like it. It reminds you of like Secret of Mana. I don't like Secret of Mana. But I actually really did like this a lot. I'm like, yeah, I'm definitely gonna get
this. So definitely excited. I'm excited it's coming out in June because I don't think anything that I know of off the top of my head. I don't think we've gotten any like a summer release date for games. So I'm glad this is kind of filling in.
Well, we don't have any official ones, but there are definitely some coming. I mean,
there's going to be some stuff filling it, but
there's rumors of some Xbox games coming out in summer. I think
there's definitely going to fill it. So I'm glad this is the start of it. And of course, I went to look at because if it's a Square Enix game, I just automatically gravitate to see if there's a deluxe or collector's edition. There is a collector's edition. It's way too goddamn expensive. You can get it without the game for $160.
Yeah, but what comes in that is not worth $160.
No. And it's
a nice little diorama thing, but it's just not worth that price.
It's no. What's funny is as soon as I got Dragon Quest, I was like, oh man, I remember there was a collector's edition for this, and I remember it being expensive. But I did like it. It was like a ship in a bottle type of thing. I thought it was cool. So then I went to eBay and looked it up, and like bare minimum that thing was going for like $500. And I'm like, what? It's like, god damn it.
That's Square collector's edition for you.
Yeah. I should have just bought it and turned it around and sold it. And I know
it wouldn't be the first thing you did that with, since you're a scalper. As we established a couple of weeks ago.
That was just RAM. That was like 6-year-old RAM.
Just RAM. Pretty much the most valuable substance on earth right now. Just RAM.
You know what? Well, because here we go. Speaking of like RAM, PC, and stuff, if you remember back in the day, it still happens, I'm sure. But when you are watching TV with commercials, it was always cash for gold. Do you remember those commercials? Mm-hmm. Well, now when I'm scrolling through reels and stuff, it's trade in old PC parts for cash. Now it's like PC myself. Parts for cash. It's like the new gold for cash for gold type of thing. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Well, since I watch Premier League as a cultured individual, unlike much of the Western Hemisphere, I tend to get up pretty early on Saturday so I can turn the old tube on because there's usually a game that starts around 7 a.m. Eastern.
Yeah.
Without fail, every Saturday before it, there's a like right before 7, there's a what do you call it? Like paid programming, right?
Yeah, infomercials or whatever.
Yeah, infomercials.
Yeah,
and it's always selling a coin, right? With a strict limit, with a strict limit of 3 per customer or 3 per phone call, and it's like,
I know,
it's like you've had this commercial for 2 months. Clearly, it's not working, right?
Yeah, and then it's just another coin.
Here's buy this gold one because gold is going up, and it's like,
yep.
Does this really work? Because there's no way it does.
I used to love them as a kid, and they were like, it has an eagle imprinted on the rear, and it's like, oh Jesus, it was.
They
bright
always
shiny lights as it's spinning around.
They always just happen to find a whole bucket of them buried somewhere, right?
Yeah,
It's like
they were made by the mint and forgot.
Yeah, exactly.
Until now.
And just think, one day that's going to be when they're raiding your house and they find all the RAM you've been hoarding over the years, the $10 trillion worth of RAM. When you start your own AI farm there at
when someone asks
Industries.
me, when someone asks me if I have Bitcoin, I say no, but I do have RAM. That's But anyways, going on to a very special game that's near and dear to your heart, Super Bomberman Collection. I know you're excited for this
I
one.
immediately sent you a text that said, as long as I live, I will never understand an infatuation with Bomberman.
I don't get it either. I remember playing it on the Nintendo way back in the day, and it wasn't by
it's Konami.
Yeah, but it used to be the B. Remember that?
Well, that was a Konami company, you know that. It was
yeah, what was it called?
Let me think for a minute. I know exactly what you're talking about.
It's gonna drive me batshit.
Yeah, that is driving me crazy. I know the B's got big googly eyes. I know exactly.
Yeah. But that's what I remember about Super Bomberman, because I was a kid when that came out, and I was like, oh, it's got a B on it. Oh, I didn't play it much. It was just not for me. And yeah, I don't know why it's Hudson Soft. Yep.
Yeah. So do you know the story about them? Like why they were? That was back.
I've heard it, but I honestly couldn't remember.
It was back in the day when Nintendo would only allow you to publish, I believe it was a maximum of 5 games per year. So the big publishers made like sub publishers that they still owned them, but they were, and that's exactly what happened.
I did not know.
Remember,
that.
On NES, Konami was enormous because of Castlevania, or not Castlevania, Castlevania, but specifically Contra and stuff like that. But they made Bomberman. And,
interesting.
Yeah, that's why.
I did not know that.
Capcom had one too, but I don't remember who theirs was.
Did not know that. Mm-hmm. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is coming to Switch 2 in June as well. I'm glad it's getting to other places. I'm glad people are going to be able to play this. If you can play it somewhere else, I would advise that. But if this is the only way you can play it, play it.
They charge you $1 per pixel that you get on that screen.
If you can play it somewhere else, definitely. If you can't,
it looks,
at least you can.
Clear, it looks playable, but
for sure,
man, it looks rough in comparison to
yeah.
And that doesn't surprise me, because when I saw like Digital Foundry's thing of Remake, they said that while a good port, the Switch port of Remake, the Series S version was better. I'm like, and it's not shit talking to Series S. It's considering the PS5 and Series X by extension, right? Were obviously much more powerful than the Series S for this, and this was a PS4 game.
Yeah,
and the PS5 struggled with Rebirth.
Yeah,
this doesn't bode well for the Switch.
No, it's if you can play it somewhere else, definitely. If you can't,
it's I'm sure it'll work, but it is definitely does not look like where you want to play it. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Now, and also to be clear, it may look fine in handheld. If you're just playing it handheld, true. The Switch version may be okay. Right. You probably wouldn't notice the lower resolution then. But on like docked, it looked awful to me. So
yeah. Compared to what we've seen and played.
Yeah.
And then we have Pragmata from Capcom, which is coming out in April. They also dropped the demo, which I did play the demo the other day.
As did
I was definitely interested in the game beforehand because it's Capcom and of course it's space. So of course I'm in.
Not space.
Not space.
The moon.
The moon. But anything outside of Earth is I'm always down for. So I played the demo on PlayStation 5. Quite liked it. Very much liked it.
I did too, but I did tell you I have 2 criticisms.
You did bring up some good pointers,
which I think are fair criticisms, because
you did.
I'm excited for the game too. Like I'm not just trashing it, but I told you, just to tell everybody else, this is the kind of game, especially since it's Capcom, that I could see being like 4 hours long, which would be really annoying. And my other thing is, and this is very much could not be an issue at all, right? But I am concerned that if that gameplay loop doesn't in any way change, that could get very repetitive very quickly. I like the gameplay loop, but if it doesn't in some way progress as the game goes on, which it might, then I can see the game get kind of repetitive. But,
and I had just come off of playing it, and I was like, no, like this is right up my list now, blah blah, and it still is. But then you had brought up like the combo attack, and while it's awesome, if this game is more than 4 hours, if it's 10 to 15 hours, if they don't switch that up with some type of skill system where it kind of changes it a bit, I can see that being a little repetitive. But runs great, looks great. I thought it looked really good. I thought of course, when you beat it, you unlock a skin where she like draws on you, and I thought that was like one of the coolest skins I've seen. I thought that was great.
They didn't make it real clear though if that skin is unlocked for the final game or if it's just for like successful playthroughs of the demo.
Yeah, I don't know. Because it doesn't say it carries over anywhere.
Right. Yeah, so that's my guess too. Is it's just to replay the
maybe
demo.
It'll detect it. Who knows? But this is one game on Switch 2 where I guess people played it on Switch 2. It runs at 60 frames and looks decent. And I guess early people have been, having Requiem, Resident Evil on the Switch 2, and that one also is supposedly looking good. So I guess Capcom is doing good on that front there. So that's good. We finally got our first look at, because we didn't have like gameplay of Turok, right? The last time we saw it was just like a reveal.
We knew it was third person, although they did show in this that it has a first person mode as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was about all we we didn't see combat or anything.
Yeah. So this one, a new trailer with some combat. It's still kind of skeptical of what it is, because it sounded at one point it was like a couple players at the same time type of thing, not like a story campaign. At least from what I got from it. This is coming out in fall.
I think it is a story. Yeah.
Yeah. And is Saber developing it and publishing, or just publishing it?
I think they're just publishing it.
Okay. This is coming out to fall. This didn't do anything for me, sadly, which sucks because I love Turok. So hopefully we see more, and it's more. Kyoto Xanadu. Multiple genres coming this summer. Tricky game to nail down. It had a 2D platforming RPG, boss battles, blah, 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 and a hint of dating sim. I don't remember seeing this one.
Really?
No.
I don't remember the game almost at all, but I remember it because I assume it's either the sequel or spiritual successor to Tokyo Xanadu.
Oh, so okay.
That's why I knew about what it was, but I don't remember the gameplay of it very much at all.
Yeah. Digimon Storytime Stranger is coming to the Switch, which is cool. I'm not a huge Digimon fan. I've never gotten into it. However, this one does look good, and I think I might get this on the Switch.
Alex really liked it, but he also does like Digimon, so that but I did say to you, it just kind of shows how sad it is that garbage Pokemon, when they really haven't.
Don't let Ellery let you hear that.
I mean, I don't like Pokemon at all, but the recent games have been objectively terrible.
It's true,
and that's somehow that remains better than or sells better rather than Digimon, which is actually a far better designed everything.
Yeah, I do. Ever since Digimon came out, I do like the character designs more. I never got, like I said, into it, but I just gravitated more to that for sure.
It doesn't look like it's like advertised to 3-year-olds, whereas Pokemon does.
Right.
Like that's the main thing.
Yeah. And probably one of the biggest surprises for me was the Grand Blue Fantasy Relink Endless Ragnarok reveal, which is basically an expansion, and it looks like to be a hefty expansion.
Looks to be very, very sizable. They haven't given a number of like new playable characters, but it looks like there's quite a bit based on what they showed.
Yeah. And side note, I think it's going on now until tomorrow. You can sign up for the alpha access for it on their website.
Oh,
so
really?
So I signed up for that earlier.
And also now obviously you weren't going to find this info on the Nintendo stream, because the reality is for Nintendo, there's only one way to buy this, and that is the complete version. This is unsurprisingly being released everywhere else as well. But also, if you own Grand Blue Fantasy Relink as well. Is that right? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I can forget which one's the
I know. There's like Versus.
If you own Relink, you will be able to buy just the upgrade to
Nice.
Endless Ragnarok.
Yeah.
And it sounds like it's primarily end game content. So it's like you're going to still have to probably play through the main version of the game, I would think. But
yeah,
it looks like, I mean, they had the ability to play as, to some extent at least, the primal summons, which is pretty cool. Like, you know, the very first level of, or what do you want to call it, mission, whatever, of the original game is when I think it's called Bahamut. There's Proto Bahamut. That's what she's called.
Proto.
Yeah, Proto Bahamut goes crazy. Well, they show them playing as Proto Bahamut fighting someone else in that. It's like, oh
yeah.
yeah.
Definitely excited for this one. I
Baldwin
think
says he thinks new characters was 4 to 6.
4 to 6.
But that's what we saw.
Right. So it could be more.
We know of 2 for sure. One was Beatrice, and the guy with the gun. I don't know what his name is.
Eustace.
Eustace. Okay.
Yeah.
They showed the next 2 characters they showed, I think, are the ones that so I actually think it was more than that, because the next 2 characters they showed are actually in the game already. They were like the one like floating like cat girl or whatever. They were added in the next to final update.
Okay.
But there seems to be an awful lot that they have not necessarily gone into detail on, because it looks like there is a lot to this.
Yeah. Yep. And also it does add crossplay, which is much wanted, especially
crazy
from
that
the
it didn't
PC
have it
side.
before, actually.
Yeah, because I almost got it on PC. I've got it on PlayStation. I almost got it on PC when it was on like a really steep discount, but I didn't, because I do like the multiplayer in this game, and a lot of people on PC in the forums are like, yeah, this is basically like, it's somewhat active, but not really active on PC, and because there's no crossplay. So glad to see that. So there'll be crossplay between Switch, PlayStation, and PC. Still no Xbox release.
That was wild. I did not realize that until a while later, that there's no Xbox version,
which is wild.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's coming out. I think that was a summer release too, right?
July 9th.
Okay, cool. And then Monster Hunter Stories 3. I'm super excited for this one. Just more Monster Hunter RPG. Definitely excited. I liked the first 2, so I'm excited for this one. And that's out in March. Oh god, this year's gonna be rough. It's gonna be rough. My wallet's already hurting from this month. And then they announced the Arcade Archives 2 and Console Archives. You had Rave Racers, Ninja Gaiden 2, Cool Borders, which, man, that took me back. I haven't played Cool Borders in a long time. A very long time. Scott Pilgrim EX, a sequel to the game, despite what its name.
Well, I mean, that game's already out, just not on Switch.
Yeah. Let's see what else. Reanimal. I'm actually really looking forward to Reanimal. I love that horror look it's going for.
I have never actually played Little Nightmares, believe it or not.
1 and 2 is really good. I haven't played 3 yet,
It's
because I haven't. Yeah, and I heard it wasn't as good. 1 and 2 is pretty solid though. And I'm not usually a fan of those type of games, but definitely good.
What, you don't like 2D games because they're not immersive enough?
Yeah, I can't have that. I can't have that in my life.
And disgusting pixel art.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Has to come up every show somehow, right?
Jesus. WWE 2K26. Cool. That's it. Yeah. I think Ellery, who was in our chat before and also in our Discord, is a fan of WWE. I'm not, so maybe
I don't
like this one, but
do not know if Ellery plays the wrestling games, but
I don't know either. I know they go to the shows and stuff, and they have a great time, which is fantastic. That's fun, but yeah, it was just never not for me. Star Trek Voyager. I thought this was a free to play game. It is not. It's $40, which kind of turns me off a little bit on it.
Isn't it that MMO or whatever?
No, this is a different one.
Oh, this is where they were like building up the cabins and stuff. Right?
Yeah. And I guess you do go on missions and stuff. So I don't know why I thought it was kind of free to play, but I just did. But I might get this if the review's good, but it's gonna have to be a steep sale, and it won't be for a while. Freight Conductor I says, I like the games more than I care for the shows. I'm talking about WWE.
Yeah.
I never played any of the WWE games or anything like that either, ever. So, and I know they've been around since, I was a kid, but let's see. I didn't even own a PlayStation, but had a memory card to save my wrestlers. I like it. Disney Dreamlight Valley Switch 2 edition. Cool.
Okay.
Cool. PGA Tour 2K25. Cool. Nah.
I will say, if they do a good job with the port, that would be a good portable game.
It would be, yeah. I can see that.
It'd be a good on-the-go game. Yep.
Yeah, if you're a golf fan. The only golf game I like is like Hot Shots, and that's because it's like and Mario Golf's okay, but I don't think I've ever played any of the 2K or PGA or whatever golf games because I don't follow it at all. Coldcept, I think that's how you pronounce it. Begins.
Coldcept, I think.
Coldcept.
I think so, yeah.
That was shown. And yeah, that kind of came out of nowhere, and people I've seen online are going actually pretty nuts over it. Like
it has a very nice physical version. I can say that. I've seen that getting advertised by
VGP. I saw it over there, and I was kind of like, okay, this game really isn't for me. And I saw the collector's edition. I was like, maybe it is for me. One of those deals.
There are a couple games that I'm like, I don't know if I care about that game, but I do like that collector's edition a lot.
Right. You've got Goat Simulator 3, which has been out on other stuff forever.
Time for those to end.
And Shadow Tactics. Shadow Tactics has been out for God knows how long. That might be a good portable game too. Tales of Arise Beyond the Dawn edition, which has the expansion
has been out for 4 years itself.
Also been out for a while, but it's cool that it's getting to other places. I think that's good. Definitely, if you like Tales, definitely pick that up. If you can't pick it up anywhere else, I'm sure it'll run fine on the Switch too, right? I'm sure.
I would think so.
I would think so. And then you have they showed off some more Resident Evil Requiem with probably the worst person ever to try and shoot.
I saw something about this though.
I've seen it a few places now. IGN actually had an article about it.
People think that was done intentionally because Nintendo didn't want the violence in the video. And I'm like, that makes sense. But then it also makes you wonder why it would even be in the trailer. Like they wanted to show like how smoothly it was aiming, but Nintendo did not want the gore. And I'm like, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard, and yet it makes perfect sense.
It is. It does. It makes sense, but it's also, like you said, the dumbest thing. And it first right up when, like, I think it was a person coming down like the hallway or something, and she goes to shoot and like literally like to the left of the leg, and I'm like, what's going on? And then they did a sniper, and it was like, and we have both messaged each other. I was like, what is going on?
Yeah.
Wild. Definitely super excited for that. That's what, 2 weeks? 2 weeks?
27th, I think. So I think it's 3.
Is it the end of the month?
Yeah, it's the end of the month. Hold on.
What's out on the 19th? I thought something was out on that 19th.
You got Yakuza next week on the 12th, I think it is.
Oh, I thought something was out on the 19th. Yeah, because I'm not actually going to be here on that weekend, so hopefully nothing comes out on the 19th.
27th.
Hopefully.
Yep. So it's
good.
3 Fridays from today.
All right, good. And then Bethesda came out of nowhere and was like, hey, we're bringing all our old games. Fallout 4 Anniversary Edition, Indiana Jones, which is not old, but
the Switch 2 is so powerful it could play a game from 2015 on
it. At 30 frames.
Probably.
Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remastered. And they were talking about Skyrim Remastered too on there. I'm sure you've got to have played these games before, unless you are only Switch, which, oof. The thing that was wild for me is that Fallout 4 and Skyrim is going to be $60 on the Switch 2.
Not is going to be. Edition. It is. It's been out.
It is.
Yeah.
$60. The Switch 2 edition, $60 physical, and the physical only comes with a code. Like,
Yeah,
the kit.
yeah.
It's not even like a game card or anything. It's like, oof.
Yeah, people, and I understand why, but they complain about the game cards. I don't mind those that much.
I don't think it's terrible.
Code in box is totally
Code in box is like, what's the point?
Yeah.
It's such a waste of resources and just everything. And yeah, that rounded out the show. Once again, I'm glad Indiana Jones and all these other games are coming to it. It does look like I said, the Capcom games seem to be running really good on Switch too. So it seems like if the developer cares enough, or if they've had the kit long enough, that they can get these games looking and working decently.
But
the
fact that Switch 2 has DLSS goes a long way in helping close the gap. Which is genuinely why I am surprised. I thought Rebirth looked so bad, because I actually thought the DLSS would do a lot to close that gap, and it clearly did not.
No, so I feel like maybe, I know that some developers were saying that they didn't even get Switch 2
well, that too. Nintendo
to
did
work
not
on
what
the hell are they called?
Development kit.
So I guess maybe that's why, but still, it's like, come on. So Indiana Jones didn't look too bad on it, considering.
Indy looked okay.
Yep. But God, if you can play that on PC, Master Race, that game is gorgeous.
Yeah, I will say I played it on both Xbox and PC, and I'm like, yeah, there is a big difference there.
Gorgeous.
it has some insanely advanced ray tracing and stuff like that.
It's
on PC
so good. When you go into the that first museum area and the glass is broken and stuff, and like every little piece of glass is like reflecting something. Oh, it's gorgeous. So yeah, at the start I wasn't very happy with it, but there's some games in there I'm looking forward to for sure.
I thought it was an okay show, although ironically enough, it was okay for me in a completely non-Nintendo way. Like almost everything I was interested in, I won't be getting.
Yeah, it was nothing to do with Nintendo. And I mean, granted,
I'll get Adventures of Elliot. Actually, I'll probably get that twice. That's what I did with like Octopath. Like I'll probably get a physical version for Switch. The physical version's the damn game card. But and then I'll actually get like a regular digital version on PlayStation and probably primarily play it there. But
definitely looking for that one. And of course, Grand Blue, I'm super excited for.
Grand Blue was by far the most exciting thing for me, because I was like, damn, I genuinely thought this game was dead.
So, and I think I had mentioned it in our chat or our Discord, I can't remember, that I'm glad that it is getting some extra love, because I love these type of games where it's just like you and two other controlled characters, like an action RPG. I love those, and I don't think there's enough of them.
Yeah.
And plus, the game was gorgeous with the colors and stuff. Gorgeous.
Yeah, beautiful. And I wish, I actually quite like the anime. The unfortunate part is it's kind of short, and it doesn't really like. Grand Blue has the most bizarrely complicated lore, because like so you're aware that it's a mobile game. And it's a mobile game that's been running for a long time in Japan.
Right.
The anime kind of covers the very, very basics of like the beginning of the story, but it doesn't get to like the more complicated things. Like, if you remember Relink, there's that character Lucilius. Like Lucilius is like the lore gets to the point of like the gods battling and stuff like that. And like Lucilius was supposed to be a replacement. It was the same with Sandalphon, who was added to Relink. Like Lucilius was like a clone of Lucifer that went rogue and fought them all. And then Sandalphon was supposed to be he's like an archangel that was supposed to take Lucifer's place, but he ended up rebelling and like siding with the non-gods. It's pretty interesting, but like unless you speak Japanese and play the mobile game, there's no way to know any of it.
You weren't knowing what was going on.
Yeah. I'm assuming El Dotaro is back there, but
yeah, it's super. I wish it had a pro update for the game. Now. I really do.
Maybe now.
That'd be so good.
That's awesome. It. I mean, it really isn't the biggest deal that it doesn't have it, because
it's not.
It looks good and runs at a locked 60, but
it does. I just wish it was like 4K and locked, because it is gorgeous.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was pretty much it for the direct. Like I said, fine overall, nothing too crazy.
Yeah, I thought it was okay.
So yeah, I think it's time for, unless you have something more to add, I think it's to find out what everybody's fortune for the weekend will be.
Mine
So,
this week comes courtesy of
Panda
Express.
Express. Oh, so it might actually be a halfway decent one
Yeah,
this week.
it'll be a different one.
Is this where you went? Is that where you went to dinner tonight, or?
No, this was from last weekend. Once again, though, it is not a fortune.
Maybe I should send you a bag of the ones that I buy.
Well, I have a box that'll have fortunes in them. I just haven't got to it yet. I'm trying to go through all these other ones first.
Right.
I'm sorry. I heard Twyla going ballistic again.
No, Twyla's reading it. It's fine. Let's see. So mine says, tomorrow's kindness will create a ripple of goodwill. When I
that is
first
also
read that,
not a fortune.
no, and when I first read it in my head, I thought it said create a cripple of goodwill. I was like, oh, Jesus, I don't know if I want that one.
You will find new ways to say thank you this week.
Oh, arigato. All right, folks. Well, thank you very much for joining us this week. And I think I don't think anything's going on next week, so we'll probably be here next Friday for you. See what shenanigans we can come up with. I had a plan of stuff to do today, like I did last week, but I figured we had enough to talk about this week with the direct. So, we'll save it for next weekend. Little surprise, little segment. So yeah, thanks everybody for showing up. Yep, that's where I'm headed. So yeah, everybody have a good weekend playing video games or whatever you're gonna do. Enjoy it and have fun. And thanks for joining us.
Watch the Olympics.
Night. Yes, the Olympics. Night, everybody.
Go USA.